All right, guys, I think we might be live. So hopefully you can hear me. If any of you are in the chat already, go ahead and jump in. I know we started a few minutes early. We want to try to squeeze everything in possible. So as you guys know, I have an honored guest on. It's going to be Drip Coach. He has been doing his best to create another platform, try to get outside of the Ponzi-nomics, something that will also aid back into Drip. He's trying to do his small part to change the world and make a good effort at that in a way that he could do it through DeFi. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. We're going to talk through his project, and any questions and all that type of stuff you can throw into the chat. So let me bring on Drip Coach. And here's the man himself.
Hey guys, what's up? You probably already know me, so no introduction needed.
Right. So most everybody on my channel, I think, follows your channel. Also, a lot of us were watching Driptopian's channel earlier when we were talking about the marketing DAO and getting Drip up and running and increasing the price on that. So a lot of you guys out there in the audience saw us together just a couple hours ago, but we're back again to talk about another project that's just launching. Is today the launch date?
It was officially a couple hours ago, so you can actually purchase the NFT as of like 12 hours ago. I got that mixed up again as well as UTC time, but yeah, it's live now, so we'll definitely cover that in here. But before we do that, I just wanted to give a props to you actually because you guys may not know, some of you that are new, the Drip Coach moniker actually comes from Scott. So he kind of gave me a little roasting on his channel maybe like 6 to 8 months ago because of the drip farming for poverty, long name and all that stuff. And ironically, what I've always done is done some kind of coaching in the military and martial arts and all this stuff. And then a little throwback, my initials in air traffic control in the military were actually Delta Charlie. So it just came full circle that when Scott threw this out, and then what I've always done in my life, doing coaching and like sharing information, it just kind of fit. So just want to plug Scott because I wouldn't be here without that little kind of kick in the pants to get me in the right direction to find my niche. And now it's come full circle. So you gave me the name and now I get to be back on your channel and spread the love and build a DAO with you as well. So it kind of worked out really well.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's kind of crazy. I was just on a cough syrup rant that day and just kind of on the syllables in your name, but it makes more sense. I mean, Drip Coach, that is kind of what you're doing. And your style of content is very much the analytical breakdown of coaching people through the process. So it's definitely a good fit. And yeah, it's nice. I mean, we started being friends, I don't know, 8 months ago or whatever. We joined some groups together and then we communicate almost on a daily basis, which is awesome. And it's a testament to how strong the community is. And now a lot of us are getting more well-versed in the DeFi space. We're starting to play in some other areas, start up our own projects. I got a little something going with Driptopian. We've got our marketing DAO. You've got your own project. So it's good to watch us develop and kind of feed off each other and try to do DeFi the right way, because there's a lot of people out here doing it the wrong way. And so we're trying to make some changes and do it better. So thanks for everybody joining in the chat, starting to get some comments rolling in. So if you guys missed the first couple minutes, because we started a little early, Coach just launched a new platform within the last 12 hours. And it's going to help change and transform people in a few different ways. So I'll let him start to break that down. We'll walk through the white paper that he put together, and then we can take this in any direction we want to. So Coach, I'll give you the floor. Let me know what you want me to do. I can bring this white paper up if you'd like.
Yeah. I guess the white paper is a good place to start.
Okay.
So what this is, Change 360. So it's an acronym. I've always been big on acronyms. So the acronym itself, you probably don't even know this because I don't reference it very much because it's super long, but it stands for Continual Health Accountability Nutrition Guidance Expert. So Change as kind of a double entendre of what I'm trying to do in the DeFi space. Of course, also what I focus on in the coaching mindset, physical development aspect. So it just came as a great word or name to use in an acronym. And even the actual logo that you see there is three things kind of blended together. So the Phoenix, we all know, kind of dies and rises from the ashes. Then you have the actual innovation, which is the light bulb that's behind all that. And then the gear icon for technology and kind of crypto adoption kind of thing. So shouts out to Lissandro for designing that. I gave him the idea and he actually put that together. And we kind of came up with that, or that's the logo we're utilizing. So the application itself is basically a AI health and fitness powered holistic development platform. That's the easiest way to summarize it. So being a coach in martial arts and fitness and in the military and all this stuff, it's you find that essentially there's multiple areas towards your development, and a coach will help you get insight on whatever that particular thing is you want to tackle. If you want to be a better basketball player, then you get a basketball coach. Want to be a better swimmer, you get a swim coach, financial coach, whatever, right? But at the same time, while you're moving through those avenues of things you want to tackle, there's other areas outside of that specific focus that actually impact that, and none more so than in wellness. So just because you're going to the gym and hitting the gym hard doesn't mean you don't need to work on your nutrition, doesn't mean you don't need to work on your mindset. What if you had a death in the family, or someone just passed away? That means now you're at a mental state where you might need some coaching from someone that's not telling you to lift heavier on the barbell. So this all is important in my regards to the holistic wellness aspect. And with the AI kind of getting super hyped right now, it was a perfect opportunity to do that. And then my long-term goals have blending that AI kind of model into something that can be utilized in exchange with crypto assets and kind of a NFT battle platform and things of that nature. But I won't go into that too much detail. Just want to give you a roundabout way of how I came up with this, or why this idea, I guess, is in existence. And it's something that I've actually been working on for about 7 years. So this didn't just come up overnight. It's been different iterations out here in Cambodia. I have my own physical gym, and like I said, multiple different areas of coaching. So this is the natural progression of that and getting the development executed now.
Nice. What's your core audience on this, would you say? And what type of people are the most likely to jump on board with this?
Core audience, since it's tied right now to crypto, is definitely that crypto savvy person. So if you're looking at our avatar, it's someone around the age of like 25 to 45. They have some crypto experience because they need to be able to clearly purchase from us using a Web3 wallet. But they've also seen the impacts of the crypto space on maybe their physical and mental health. The bear market we've experienced, the crashes that we've had, the pandemic that we had previously. I'm sure everybody has suffered in some way. Chasing financial freedom has probably impacted your physical and mental well-being. So people that know that, but just haven't put a lot of focus on that because they're focused on the financial side. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot between those people. So men, 25 to 45, crypto savvy, kind of entrepreneurial or desk job kind of person, your typical blue collar worker, if you will, because it's a very cheap barrier to entry for what we're offering.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, let's what's the best flow to help people understand the inner workings of it? Do you want me to go through the white paper and go page by page and just highlight the good stuff, or what do you think?
Yeah, definitely highlight the good stuff, mainly specifically at least the drip support side, because that's what this community is being built on. And then we could just take a look at the NFT crowdfunding that's live.
Cool.
The other stuff in the white paper you can check out kind of on their own.
Awesome. Yep. You tell me where you want me to drive and we'll do it.
Yeah, right there is a good place to start, I think. So essentially with this NFT, so it's the platform itself isn't live right now. We're building that as we speak. I've showcased the updates on my channel, but what you can do right now to support the platform or the adoption and growth of the platform is the NFT crowdfunding. So we went with Sidekick Finance. Ray from Bartertown mentioned them as a good crowdfunding model. So if you're familiar with Kickstarter or GoFundMe, those are centralized platforms that allow you to basically raise money for whatever idea you have or donation. And Sidekick Finance basically did the same thing with NFTs. So the smart contracts are all immutable, done on the backside, and you just mint on their website. And then the payouts and stuff are tied to whatever we do on our side with the contracts. Later on, we launched the platform. So the biggest thing to note is that about 60% of the revenue will go to drip support. So if you scroll up, I think 2 pages, it's a better breakdown, or down technically.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So what we're doing with the entire revenue platform, and I mentioned this on my channel, and it's what I believe is necessary. So I built my channel and engagement off the back of Drip. So I believe that my moral obligation to you all is to make sure that whatever I build supports the Drip ecosystem, because the ecosystem and the community is what I believe in. So we'll have 20% of all Drip revenue. I'm sorry, all platform revenue that will buy Drip and send it to the tax vault. There'll also be in the contract a code, if you will, a math formula that'll say if we get over 15% of the Drip token supply in the tax vault, then the rest will go to the reservoir. So what that means right now, off simple math, let's just say we had 10 million in Drip circulating supply. We would, if once it gets to 1.5 million in the tax vault, then the extra revenue will go over to the reservoir. And then if it drops below that, it'll go back to the Drip vault. So just a dynamic way to keep tokens in the tax vault, but also support the Drip reservoir. So 20% to Drip tax vault, 20% to reservoir, and 10% to the animal farm. We're going to use that as basically treasuries like the pig pen, dogs, and focus on only harvesting the dividends, so BNB dividends and BUSD dividends. And then the other 10% that makes up that 60 is that crowdfunding wallet that's on the right side of the diagram. What that means is 10% of the entire platform revenue will go towards community voted on allocations. So similar to how we have the Pigpen voting model, we will do the same thing for our crowdfunding. And essentially, probably in the very, very beginning and for the foreseeable near future, that loudest community will be the Drip community. So that means that's another 10% that we can support with that.
Awesome. Okay, very interesting. So that's what that is. I was wondering what the crowdfunding was. So as the revenue comes in, you've got it split out. You're basically going to do a form of collateral rehypothecation here, invest in the animal farm treasury, and then just have the yields. What happens with those yields? You get to keep the profits?
No, so that's going to be voted on as well. So my plan is that if you've been following my channel, I have this goal to empower the impoverished, but I saw that Drip wasn't going to do that by itself because it just didn't have enough utility. So by leveraging the dividends on the animal farm without selling any assets, then we can have community voted on, charities, even buybacks, whatever the community wants from that is what we'll use that for. So we'll have a pig pen allocation, and we'll continue to improve those positions as well. So I haven't got the exact numbers on where the dividends will roll back in and what we'll be spending. So obviously from the pig pen BUSD, some of that will buy more pigs. That makes more sense. And then some of that will be used to charities or whatever the community votes on. And same thing for the dog pound. As we're farming, as we stake assets like BNB, BUSD, BTC, and ETH, whatever those dogs are, those go in the dog pound. And then those BNB dividends will be voted on by the community again.
Awesome. And did I see on a previous slide here, if I can get this to work, that you can pay with any EVM compatible token?
Yes, that was a big thing I wanted to have. So the initial adoption is trying to target everybody in crypto. That's who's the lower hanging fruit. So to avoid using kind of just Drip and paying in with Drip or anything like that, because that just defeats the purpose, I wanted to make it similar to what Spritz do. So if you guys are familiar with Spritz, you can basically donate or pay with any crypto. So the contract will allow you to pay with Polygon, Matic, or Phantom, or whatever the case may be. And then that equivalent BUSD value will basically be converted over on the platform side to give you your product.
Awesome. I like that a lot. And I think it's smart to do that in a way where outside people that are already involved in crypto but aren't necessarily involved in the Drip ecosystem, they can pay with the assets that they already have in their wallet. It's harder to take someone and then try to educate them on what the whole Drip system is. You can transfer over those tokens, but then there's a tax involved. Your transfer between wallets just seems like it would be way too big of a mess. It'd be a barrier to entry that isn't necessary.
Facts.
Awesome. What about this? You want to dive a little bit into the crowdfunding part of it?
Yeah, so I guess we can head over to Sidekick then for that, so you can actually see it.
Yeah, let me see if it lets me. Let me share a page, and let me One sec. Just got to switch to the right screen. All right. Hopefully everybody can see that. Here is Sidekick. This is the platform that he chose to use to launch the NFT and do the crowdfunding. So I'll let you hit it from here.
All right, perfect. So yeah, that top kind of image is kind of an Easter egg, so to speak. So the long-term goal I have with this project is actually, and I don't know how possible this is, but this was what I always imagined whenever I got introduced to Bitcoin back in like 2012, is my ultimate goal is an actual true proof of work blockchain, work being energy exertion. And that I want that tied to like Fitbits and stuff like that, fitness trackers. So I don't know what that looks like and how that will shape up, but I do believe that there's, an ability to do something like that. And that's the long-term goal. But before we get there is this kind of Easter egg I'm talking about in that image. So it's going to be this NFT battle card kind of game. And these characters are just right now, they're just AI generated. If you're familiar with any of the AI generative art.
Looks like you got you over here and then me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just some AI generative art, but this will be a feature in the NFT battle card game that I want to introduce. So that'll come out around like phase 3 or 4. And essentially, if you're familiar with what's going on with AI right now, you can use your image, your face, and get these really cool avatars and 3D rendered images and all sorts of stuff. So going to have an area of this where your actual NFT battle card will be a character you either create, and if you want to be anonymous, of course, you can just generate one, but it can be you. And then the way that it'll work is you're kind of betting or gambling against one another, so to speak, on actual physical activity and things like that fitness trackers track. So the holistic wellness side. So your ability to track your sleep and your heart rate variability and your nutrition, all these things. And similar to how battle cards have the points and your health bar and all that stuff in your attack, that will be part of the actual engagement aspect. So if you use a fitness tracker now, you can do stuff on Fitbit where it's like challenge your friend to 10,000 steps, first person to climb 100 steps in a day or whatever. So it's using what's already there and just turning it into a gamified platform where you're winning crypto. And if you're winning in real life, you're winning in this financial game as well. So that's that's kind of what that showcases up top.
That's cool. In the end, I don't know if this is all baked now, but what crypto would people be earning? Are you going to try to tie that into drip where they'd be earning some sort of drip, or is it going to pay out in BNB, or like what's your thought process there?
Yeah, it's not fully baked, but I want to have something that doesn't have a lot of inflation tied to it, kind of a fixed asset. We'll see how the stable coins shape up. So I haven't really figured out exactly how to integrate that part. Hence why in the very beginning, we're actually just doing points for the system and referrals and stuff like that. So we can see how people are spending points without having any Ponzi-nomic tokens injected into the system first. So I want to actually monitor people's behavior, see what's being done, see what's sustainable, get more ideas as the space evolves and develops, and then figure out exactly what a token looks like and how that can be sustainable long-term.
Interesting. You just jogged my memory. A lifetime ago, I used to work for Citibank actually, and we had some sort of insurance plan. And I want to say it was like Red Brick Health or something that went with our insurance. Mm-hmm. And Red Brick Health was just a bolt on, and it would ask you all these questions about your physical activity and stuff. So you had to answer as honestly as possible. But if you answered so many, it would just kick you free dollars, like, in $50 blocks over to your HSA card or whatever. So it was paying you out for the activity that you were claiming to do. So I think that's a fantastic process. And for a lot of people who, maybe struggle getting motivated or staying consistent with stuff, if you kind of see those dollars rolling in while you're doing it, you feel like you're not wasting your time. I know a lot of times, even with me, sometimes I'm like in the gym, like, but I got 900 other things to do. So, my focus is like, man, do I, work on some of the work I have that generates income, or do I spend an extra half hour in the gym? So at least this would help balance and tone that thought process down for them and think, I'm winning in 2 areas here, so I'm gonna stay focused while I'm here. I like it.
Exactly. And I think that's actually what I'm trying to tackle on the front side. So as a coach, we're always faced with people coming to you with what they want, and you know the solution, but let me rephrase that. You know what people need to get what they want, but they don't want that need. They want the shiny object thing. So like people are like, oh, you know, how do I get six pack? How do I build muscle? It's like eat right, work out, get sleep. They're like, oh, I don't want that. Where's the magic pill? So in this, we have to actually, what I tell people is I have to kind of disguise what they need into what they want. So you got to gamify it. You got to make it fun. You got to give them some of these kind of like bells and whistles and stuff like that, so that they're incentivized to do the thing that they actually need to do, but they just don't want to do it because it's the boring work, so to speak. So building a platform like this, that'll have you looking at other areas of wellness. Like you just mentioned, you have 900 other things to do. Well, one of those things could be you need to focus on recovery. You need to get more sleep. You need to talk to a mental health coach because you're struggling with, you know, some areas of stress that's causing spikes in your cortisol that's making everything else you're doing pointless. Well, if you get something that's telling you, hey, focus on this, you're going to propel every other area of your life forward, because now you have the one thing that's holding you back to focus on, and you're incentivized to do it. So that's where this whole thing ties together with these different NFTs, is because if you scroll up, you'll see that we have different tiers, and one of the major components that I'm pushing for is the Task Human integration. So Task Human is a live one-on-one multi-dimensional coaching platform. So that's something that will be integrated into the roadmap, but it requires quite a bit of capital. So what I did is make this kind of an incentive-based program where if we get 50% of the funding goal, the people who purchase this will get access immediately. And if we get 100%, then they just get longer terms. But the minimal viable product that we talked about is just to get the AI representation of your kind of a nutrition plan. So the super simple barrier to entry is about a $5 plan where you come in, put in a couple of key points about your nutrition, your goals, and things of that nature, and it's going to kick out a plan based off of what you provided. And that's literally step one, phase one. Will be ready out the gate from day one. And then we'll just iterate on that model, and then eventually move towards this one-on-one live coaching aspect, because that's the other areas of wellness that I personally feel you need to get support in when you have these 900 other things that are, you know, keeping you distracted.
I agree. I think hiring a coach is key, you know, in any aspect of life. I think a lot of people want to hang back because they see that investment and they don't want to make it because it seems like too much, but you'll speed yourself up so much faster. You're just hiring a mentor to get you from A to B.
Right.
And I mean, for me, as always, and for a lot of people, you included, time is money. So if I need to get from here to there, I can do it the slow way and not really spend any money, or I can do it the fast way, get it done, and then I have exponential growth after that. And so I think people that are hesitant to hire coaches don't realize the value a good coach can bring.
Right, exactly.
And I like the gamification aspect of this, because I got a Peloton when COVID hit. You know, I've got a pretty good home gym set up, but I got a Peloton, and you know, I started riding it, and then, you know, I'd just be cruising along, getting a good workout in, and then I'd look on the board and I'd see, you know, Gloria 685 from Houston, Texas, like beating me up. And the competitive nature kicks in.
Right.
Seeing other people starting to inch ahead of me starts to frustrate me. And then I gotta get the number one spot. So I'll just get after it. And so I think especially, because people, it's tougher to do in other areas of business and stuff. If someone's making more successful than you, there's so many elements that go in. But when it comes to beating someone in a race or getting more push-ups done that day than they do, or taking more steps, it's very easy to understand. Like I'm just going to go harder than him today. I know what's going to take, and I'm going to do it. So I think that this will certainly help once it gets up and running, and there's some folks in there that can, get themselves in these little internal battles. They will, in the long term, they will both be feeling better. They'll have a sense of community, and maybe they can earn some dollars in the whole process.
Exactly. So just for clarification, because I saw someone said Polycrypto, when's it going live? The crowdfunding is live now. You can purchase these NFTs. That's what Scott's showing on the side there. There's 3 different tiers. $100, $500, and $2,500. And what you're purchasing with that is basically like it's crowdfunding. So you are investing in me as a coach and my ability to execute on this platform. And disclaimer, TLDR, this is my forever project. So I'm going to be building on this no matter what until they throw dirt on top of me or toss me in the oven. So I do plan to see this succeed and continue to push through. And since I'm alpha for you guys on this channel, that is part of the reason I took the torch and ran with the drip marketing DAO, is because I'm going to need that skill set to help market this to other users, specifically non-crypto adopted users for my platform. So there is a need for holistic wellness, and it extends globally to everyone. Well, I have a lack in the marketing space. So if I can clearly build up the drip marketing DAO, and as Scott showed earlier in the percentages, there's a percentage going to marketing. So what better way than use our marketing budget to hire a marketing team that I believe in, that I personally created. So it was a selfish kind of endeavor, but there's skin in the game and a long-term vision behind it. So you can purchase the NFTs now. And then, like I said, I'll continue to build on it. And then as far as the actual interacting with the Change 360 app, that will probably be in the next 30 to 60 days. I don't have the exact launch date yet, but once we get it dialed in, I will definitely let everybody know, and we will hit those dates just to let you guys know. So it'll all be programmed behind the scenes, and literally it will be live when I said it was, just like I did with this. So this crowdfunding on Sidekick was actually programmed about 2 weeks ago, and all we were doing was waiting for the countdown. So I'm very big on integrity and transparency, and making sure you guys see what's going on.
Meeting deadlines and,
Right.
getting everything going, set the expectations. Hey, I was going to say a second ago, what was it? Oh, I think it's okay to be selfish. Because I think within our community, we have all these talents. And sometimes we think, you may think I need a graphic designer or someone who specializes in this type of content creation. We forget we've got 50,000 people in the community, and most are really willing to help each other. You know, like we've seen with you gathering some of these people for the marketing DAO. You pulled in a lot of guys that are phenomenal at what they do, and they're also executors. So you lay out a roadmap. Hey, this needs to be done within 2 days. Are you good with that? Yes, and then it's done. I like that, because that's how I need to work in my life. And so it frustrates me a lot when people aren't executing and you don't have the right talent. It just slows everything down. It's a recipe for disaster, which we've seen even on the drip side, right? Took Forex a long time to build the team he's built now. They've gone through several iterations of firing people and not getting the right people. If you don't have the right people on board, it'll make the rest of your life, much harder. And you also won't be able to meet deadlines. It's just not possible when you don't have the right talent in there. So I think it's good to be selfish, because we got a team, a big community of people that have a lot of talents. So we might as well use them. And then as you've interacted with them enough, you realize that they're a trusted individual and someone that can be part of your core team.
Exactly.
So tell me real quick, explain, if you can, in a short amount of time, just the key differences between the 100, 500, and 2,500 for people that are trying to make a call on where they want to get in.
Good question. So the biggest difference is the amount of points allocation you'll get. So as I mentioned, we're not making a token, but we are using a point system where these points will be utilized for things on the platform, such as the raffle, such as voting on community projects, such as the gamification aspect. So you get more points with obviously the higher tiers. And the other bigger piece is that of that crowdfunding wallet I showed before, you're getting a higher allocation of that wallet and for longer duration. So I believe it's, I'm not looking at now, 612 and 2 years, or 618 and 2 years for the different ones. But basically the higher pays more and longer. So you'll be getting a payout from the revenue on the platform that is a completely separate wallet. So again, no Ponzi-nomics. This is coming from the revenue of the platform, and it'll be part of the smart contract. So all you have to do is hold that NFT. If you sell it, then it goes to somebody else, but it'll be paying out on a monthly basis that percentage of the revenue as allocated according to the tier you purchased.
Okay. So question, can you upgrade? Can if I buy 100, can I upgrade to 500? If I buy 500, can I upgrade to 2500? Is there a way to do that, or do you have to sell the NFT back? And then does there have to be a buyer on the other side to buy the NFT? So if someone wants to upgrade, can they do it?
Yeah, not upgrade in the sense that you can cash it in and get one, but you can purchase another one and that will just add to your allocation. So your wallet will now hold a $500 one and a $100 one, and you're going to get the 10% or whatever it is for the tier one, and you'll get the 15% for the tier two, whatever it is. Now, if you sell it on the market, whatever the marketplace would be that people are selling this, so we're not hosting it anywhere. You would have to go to one of the BSC NFT marketplaces. Yeah. If somebody buys it from there, then yeah, you clearly have the money now, and then you could go buy a different one and they would get that allocation. Gotcha.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify on that. So so this is live. It works right now. You sure?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. I think I've got about $110 maybe in this wallet. We're gonna give it a go and see if we can pick up this $100 one real quick. Let me set up the ledger.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it launched, like I said, about 12 hours ago. We, according to what I see now, we got 2 backers and 22% towards our goal. So that's something, while you're doing that, to mention that the way this works, just like other crowdfunding, so we have this goal of 12,500, and that's for the MVP model. That's not for the task human integration or anything like that. That's just so that we can get the hosting and the app set up and all this stuff. So it's a lot smaller allocation. But if we don't meet that goal, then actually everybody gets their money back. So if we don't meet the 80% cap of the goal, then everybody is refunded their money. So there's no risk in the platform if you purchase an NFT and we don't succeed or something like that. But if we meet the goal, then yeah, we execute towards it, and then you'll start making those crowdfunding profits, so to speak.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, so I think my transaction went through. So I'm a pioneer NFT holder, and see if we can upgrade down the road here.
Definitely appreciate the support.
There's so much info here, like, to dig into, and I know you got a hard cutoff. You want to close it out with anything specific?
Yeah, I guess the big thing is for you guys out there, if you believe in, again, what I'm trying to do, what I'm executing on, I would appreciate your support. And if you're not into health and fitness or the roadmap, then feel free to share this with somebody else that is. As I mentioned before, this is all about really trying to grow the space and move it away from the DeFi, DGen, Ponzi-nomics. So this will be a real revenue generated project. And like I mentioned, with the Drip Marketing DAO, there's literally billions of people that are looking for health and wellness information. I do this on a daily basis. And the people that are still confused and don't know what to do due to the system that we have that makes money by confusing you and selling you stuff you don't need, there is a clear market for this. And AI and crypto remove that additional friction and overhead of the complexity of the traditional retail space, where there's so much lost in the margin. So now we can go direct to consumer with tech that makes it cheaper. So that margin is going back to Drip. So to wrap that up, the point is, if you're not into this, there's guaranteed somebody else is. So at a minimum, share this and see if they will be interested in the health and fitness side, the task human integration, as well as when the project launches, to just test it out and give us feedback as we improve it.
Awesome. I did want to hit this because I thought it was an interesting concept. So Scotty B says he was in a project where they were brainstorming the idea of using an exercise bike that, as they rode it, it would burn the token. Wonder if that's something that could happen in the future, to burn Drip or send it to the tax vault based on a workout.
Yeah, I don't know how that actually works, but this is ideally in line with my exercise blockchain kind of idea. So I don't know what that entails, and the people that I have on deck don't have that skill set probably yet, and maybe the tech isn't there, but I do believe there's something there in the future with something like that. I just don't know exactly how that rolls out, but I'm looking for anything that can iterate real world experience, exercise, self-development, whatever, and then turn that into financial wellness. That's basically it in a nutshell. Because like I said, my goal on my channel was to empower the impoverished. Well, you can't get people that have literally no money to invest in something. But if they're, for example, out here working 18 hours a day farming, then they're using their body physically, right? Now, what happens if we could just give them a Fitbit or whatever the equivalent it is, and throughout all that energy exertion, they have been able to validate the blockchain. They've mined a couple of crypto rewards. That means they are actually doing things to empower themselves without having to go through all these other steps. And that's my end goal, because to me, that elevates the 60% of the pie that's being left out. So 60% of the world is impoverished. They make less than $10 a day. And we focus on the other 40%. Well, I don't like to take the same slice of the same pie. I want to make the pie bigger. And if I can bring these other people on board, that's what the Drip Marketing DAO is doing, then everybody benefits.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that you touched on also just that there's other aspects to it besides the physical in the self-improvement, because I think a lot of folks, if they didn't have the right upbringing or the right guidance, they're not prone to try to access self-development channels, to try to read the books, to try to, actively seek out internet mentors or any of that type of thing. That's kind of a learned behavior that you start to get over time. And then as soon as you've consumed some of that content, it becomes insatiable and you just want more and more and more and more info. Exactly. A lot of folks don't break through that barrier. And so they get stuck in these jobs that are full labor jobs, and they've got no money to invest to get themselves out of it for the long term. And they end up working until they die. So I think in addition to having money, the self-education's a good thing, because like we've seen, you win the lottery, money's not everything. You win the lottery, 50% of those guys broke within 5 years. So there's a reason for that. And the reason is the lack of education.
Facts. Yep.
That awesome.
Sounds like a great place to leave it off. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we'll kill it here. Of course, I'll have Coach back on the channel, and we'll talk more about this as it develops. It's just in the initial stages, just launched within the last 12 hours. So I'm pretty sure, maybe I didn't. I'm brain dead lately. I'm pretty sure that I included the links down below to the site where you can go and mint the NFTs and check everything out. If not, I will post them right after, and I'll pin them in the chat so everyone can check it out.
Awesome. Much appreciated.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you guys all for jumping on tonight. Like I said, we'll do this again soon. Coach, thanks for jumping in here and explaining your project.
Thanks, Scott, for giving the opportunity.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, man.
All right. Take care, guys. See ya.